it's Wes, and today it's time to talk about a lens that has slightly confused me as to whether or not I actually like it, but I don't want to spoil the surprise. It is the Pergear, that's right, they're still making more lenses, 7.5mm fisheye lens. Let's get into it. So this 7.5mm fisheye lens is only for APS-C cameras. I think that it's available for a few different body types though. So let's start with the categories, as always starting with build quality. This is yet another Chinese all-metal design manual focus lens, which, that's nice. Very rugged. It's got a decent amount of weight, not too heavy. It's a little bit front heavy, but I wouldn't be terribly concerned about the front heaviness because it is still a very small lens. We have a built-in lens hood, and you have to be really careful about that lens hood. Not because there's a problem with the hood, but you have to keep your fingers behind it, because it is very easy to get your fingers into the shot with this lens, because it is so wide. So 7.5mm gives you just over 10mm equivalency in full frame. So this is a very wide lens. The cap that comes with it is metal. Unfortunately, over time, it's gotten a little bit looser, and it's started to come off somewhat easily now, so that's kind of a shame. Both of the dials are all metal. They both have a really nice solid feel to them. And the aperture ring is entirely declicked, very smooth, very solid, but this is not weather sealed, which is no surprise, but that's going to give us an 8 out of 10 for build quality. Handling. I've already talked about some of this, but let's go through the basics. Small and compact. Focus wheels in the front where it should be, aperture wheels in the back where it should be. By necessity is really close to the back of the body, so it's kind of hard to get to. Probably not going to be playing with it a lot anyway. I almost wish that it was clicked so that you could lock it in a little bit better. Or, you know, clickable, declickable. But that's a bit of a nitpick for a more expensive lens. This is a cheap lens. As far as manual focus lenses go, it's got all the right things going for it. It's nice and solid, nice and easy to use. It's a 10 out of 10 for handling. Image quality. Hope you're not expecting too much here. Not a big upset like our last image quality lens, which was... Let's get some comparisons here. Last image quality upset was the TT Artisan 35 1.4 for APS-C. Has shockingly good image quality, but wouldn't focus to infinity. We have a couple other Pergear lenses here, at the 51.8, which had also very good image quality, kind of strange colors. And the Pergear 25, which I've heard from other people that was good. Mine didn't perform very well. How did this one do? Well, it is not sharp. At 2.8, which is wide open, not very sharp. At f4, still not very sharp. At f5.6, so okay, at any aperture, this is not a very sharp lens. And additionally, I could not get this lens to focus completely to infinity. It'll get to about 15-20 feet away, which honestly for a fisheye lens, for a lot of stuff that you'll do with it is fine, because you're not going to be doing a lot of landscape photography with a fisheye lens. So what can you do with it? Let's have a look at some pictures here. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with a fisheye lens. You can even do portraiture. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really careful, but yeah, you can have some fun doing that. Contrast is decent. Flare control is honestly better than I expected for the price for a fisheye. Chromatic aberration, it's there, but because it's a fisheye, it's really hard to see because everything gets so small with something this wide. Just our issues are with general softness and infinity focus. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10 in image quality. Not terrible, but obviously not great. Image character. You can kind of go two ways with this. Obviously you're not going to get any bokeh with this. If you get really close, and boy can you get close, honestly the backgrounds aren't that bad. Kind of surprising how smooth it is, to be honest. Generally speaking, the flares can be fun, going ultra wide can be fun, but I would not recommend this lens if you just want something for character. The only character you're going to get is the fisheye look. So I'm going to give this a character of 6 out of 10. Nothing that interesting going on here. Autofocus. Manual focus. It has none. And I can't quite get to infinity. So that is a -1. Ouch. Value. This is a high value lens. It is well constructed and comes in at $130 from Pergear. How does that compare? What else do we have? Well, let's bring it up. There's a 7 Artisan 7.5 fisheye for $140. Venus makes a 9mm 2.80D for $500. It's manual focus, so it kind of fits in there. Mikey has a 6.5 f2 fisheye for $130. Oh, got some competition there. Samyang has an 8mm 2.8 fisheye for $300. Wow, that is all over the place. I really have no idea how much you should expect to spend for an E-mount APS-C fisheye after reading those numbers. So overall, this is a very high value lens with a wider aperture. Now, obviously that Mikey is not going to have amazing image quality either, and it kind of ties it. So this is going to be a 10 out of 10 for value. It's the least you can pay to get this job done. So overall, that gives us a 37 out of 60. Not the highest score ever, obviously, but it's a $130 manual focus lens. Did you expect it to have the highest score ever? Probably not. This is a lens that you can have some fun with, and as you can see, I had a lot of fun with this lens. It was just the infinity focus thing that kind of killed me and kept me from putting it in my bag because I knew that I couldn't quite trust it. But overall, yes, it is a fun lens to play with. If you want to pick up one of these lenses, I got links down in the description. If you want to see higher resolution sample files, there's a link down in the description for that as well. If you have any comments or suggestions, let me know down in the comments. I'm always getting back to people down there. So, until next time, go take some super fishy photos. Ew.